Hello ladies and gents, Bushman here and welcome back to my channel for another Last Oasis video. Today we'll be talking about the recent patch, the state of the game, silence of the devs, a new ELO arena system we've been working on, news about the upcoming community podcast, and an unraidable box that can be placed on the new hard maps. There's a lot to get through today ladies and gents, so let's not beat about the bush and jump straight into it. First then, we'll be talking about the recent major patches and the changes, dynamics and impact it had on the game. So, how is the burn treating you ladies and gents? And no, I'm not talking about that sensation when you pee, I am of course talking about the scorching sun. As we all know, it started off with a 7-day tile timer which has now been increased to 10 days, but is it still enough in your opinion? In my opinion, it suits me just fine. I work during the week and at first with the 7-day timers, it was quite annoying having to spend my weekend moving the 5 walkers to a new tile, which could be very time consuming, but I can now focus moving every second week on a weekday. Although I work 5 days a week, I still play the game a lot more than a casual player, and after looking at some complaints, I would say our 14-day tile limit would balance things out a little bit for the casuals and also encourage more people to build some clay bases on their tiles, as I've seen a lot less clay bases than before. That'll bring us on to the new added risk factor, and I actually love that this mechanic of the tiles burning has ramped up the PvP, as we are now coming across new players, new clans and having fights against new enemies, which has been great fun. And the fact people are having to venture inland now to clear sand off their gears more regularly has made for some redistribution of wealth, let's say. Another little hidden gem for PvP has been the iron maps and the race to endgame armour, weapons and walkers, which in all honesty, myself and my clan are a bit behind the curve. We're only a small clan and get stomped out of the iron maps very quickly by bigger groups. We've had a few lucky runs and banked a fair amounts of iron, but after recently unlocking the tier 4 upgrades for the mollusk and other walkers, and looking at how expensive it is, I can see why a lot of smaller groups and solos are now seeking bigger clans or simply leaving the game. I don't have all the answers here, but I find this very unfortunate, as the iron grind along with the tablet grind for endgame items, adding that in with a surge in larger clans competing for new tiles to the east, makes life very difficult for the solo player and small group. I'm also not going to pretend I haven't seen quite a large dip in numbers since release, which is pretty normal for a game in pre-alpha, as not everyone sticks around to watch the game develop into its full release stage. But that being said, there isn't much to do for the majority of players, which is the solos and small groups, other than grind for tablets or try their luck at getting iron. These two activities are extremely risky and can be very punishing, so what can we suggest to these disenfranchised players? What can we suggest to the devs other than typing F in their Discord and shitting on them, which by the way is probably one of the reasons the devs are leaving us in the dark a bit as of late? Well, I have a few things in mind, but it'll be very hard to find a good balance, as it can't be too easy to get these items, as the zergs will be far too overpowered. But at the end of the day, as it stands at the moment, the iron and tablet grind is just a delay to the inevitable, as I'm already seeing most of the zergs kitted out with the best gear and walkers. First ladies and gents, the transparency and the communication of the devs has somewhat diminished, and being a toxic little shit troll on their Discord server doesn't help matters. I'm in no means kissing arse here, but if you're one of these people that starts insulting the minute a patch is released, or the minute something gets nerfed, or the minute they bring the servers down, it's not only showing you're an immature little shitbag, clearly don't care about the reputation of the game. Imagine you have built something that took years to produce. It initially had such a warm response from the gaming community, now all that are left are the basement dweller cretins insulting the devs constantly on Twitter posts, Reddit, Discord. It's going to put off the devs releasing any information for fear of getting shit on by you cunts. If you don't want to test the game in its current form and test the changes they are making, fuck off until it's ready. Second, the clan cap limit has made no difference so far, even with them doubling the water penalty. It's true that most decent zergs leave these tiles alone, but you're still seeing the main mega clans owning these territories. I understand the devs are currently testing out what works and what doesn't, but I personally think a hard cap is the only way to go and will bring back a lot of players. With that being said, I personally would still like to see a cap on the size of an actual clan. Even the big clans have many issues with even bigger clans arriving on their tiles 3 hours or more before the proxy is vulnerable to attack and locking out the server. These arseholes are the same ones complaining that there's no large-scale PvP, ironically, even though they're responsible for locking out the opposing team so they can't enter to defend the map. A lot of the mega clans will use every exploit in the book to win, and it's killing the game in my opinion. If there's 100 players per server, then it makes sense to restrict clan sizes to 50, but of course they will just make an alliance with another clan and do the same thing. As I said, I don't have all the answers here, ladies and gents, but something needs to be done to stop this cowardly gameplay. And here we're going to see a screenshot of just one of the alliances on the EU. As you can see there, ladies and gents, a huge coalition between a large number of clans in one area. So what chance does the average solo player, small clan, small group, whatever you want to call it, what chance do they have against this? In theory, what can the developers do about this? And there isn't much that they can do, but in my opinion, this type of behaviour needs to be discouraged from the game. Third then, iron needs to be more readily available. The drop rate on hard maps needs to be increased from a random drop from a Rupu to a chance to harvest iron from rocks, which I've only ever seen happen once in the thousands of Rupus I've killed since launch. This will at least give solos more incentive to get tablets for the iron weapons, as not everyone has the skills to go take on large groups on the asteroid crash sites. I'll say again, I love what they've done with the iron maps. I think they're a great addition to the game, but in the mind of a solo which makes up the majority player base in every game ever made, it does make sense. Fourth, allow more flexibility with base building and make it slightly cheaper to craft. For proxy owners and Zerg clans, resources are not a problem, so they can make huge bases and quickly. For the average nomad, it takes a long period of time to gather the required materials and tools to make a strong base and to protect their items, so a slight reduction in cost per panel with the ability to make triangle foundations will go a long way in my opinion. I also think walls should be a lot stronger than they currently are, with doors being weaker. Yes, I know this idea is from Rust, but it works really well. This will also allow players to mix their base designs with different grades of wood for doors and walls, etc. Finally, I would like to see more urgency when it comes to game-breaking bugs. I completely get they are working non-stop, but acknowledgements of detrimental issues and communication that they are working to solve these issues are really needed to reassure the community. First, that you're aware of the problem, and second, that you're working on fixing this will soothe a lot of anger and how people are losing at the game. Onto some very positive points then, is the buff to standard walker legs and armoured legs have been increased for all walkers, which is a huge step in the right direction. However, some walkers, including my favourite, again the mollusk, is still not getting any speed bonuses from upgrades or different wings. Now we're on the subject of the mollusk, I would like to share a short fan-made video from a guy from my clan called Solden. He's a Twitch streamer and a YouTube content creator, so be sure to check out his channels, which I'll provide in the description below. So let's have a look at this sick video he's made of the mollusk. I hope you enjoyed that, ladies and gents. As I said, his YouTube and Twitch is in the description below, so go over and show him your support. Any other suggestions you may have, fire away in the comments, but that will bring us on to some announcements. First, I'm currently working on setting up a community podcast for Last Oasis where we have some special guests lined up already who would love to take part in it, and it'll start with some of the best PvPers in the game, giving you some tips and tricks and advice, and the date of that first podcast is still to be announced at a later date, so keep an eye out for that as I'll be posting it on all the relevant social channels. Second, a web designer in my clan is currently working on a Nomads Arena with a ranking system. I'm working closely with him and a few others to get this right, so for more information on that, go visit www.nomadsarena.com and sign up to be a part of it. We're going to be hosting weekly arena tournaments across the Oasis with commentary, and it'll be streamed live to Twitch. Depending on how popular this gets, we may have to move it to a private server due to the servers getting locked out, but anyone who's fighting on the night will be moved to a server before we announce the location, so it should work fine on the official maps. Finally then, ladies and gents, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. There's a location on the new hardtails that can hold an unraidable ceramic box, so let's cut to a clip of me showing you where that is. This will be perfect for you Zero to Hero lovers or for people who like to plan ahead when moving to a tile, so here it is. And that's us back, ladies and gents, so let's have a look and show you what I'm talking about with the unlootable box. So as you can see, we're on a hard map here, and it's the one with the sandy roads to give easy access to the big walkers. And just in amongst some of the rocks here, you might have seen this before. There's a little gully with you can place one foundation here, and you can place a ceramic chest. Now we've tested this with a spider walker, any walker you can think of. We've tested spider walker with the ballista, and you cannot get a walker in here to shoot this box. And as you can see, we keep some valuable items in there. This is our Zero to Hero map, which we played on a small group. Hats off to Davey Wilson in the clan for figuring this out. And as you can see, that's an unlootable box you can keep on the map, and it can't be destroyed. So moving on here, this is a little base we built into the mountains here. It's already been raided, as you can see, which is quite obvious. But they took most of the stuff out of it. Little crafting room above here. And that, as you say, that's already been raided. Now, it's a good chance they didn't even notice this box down there. Or they did notice it and could not raid it. It's hard to say because it was done while we wasn't in the area. But it just goes to show just some little things you can do to make life a little bit easier and stay one step ahead, as it were. So that's a nice little trick there, ladies and gents, on lootable box. I tried to plant another wall so we could do the slanted roof method, so I could maybe stick 2 boxes down there, but it wouldn't let me place a wall where that foundation is. And at that point we'd already placed this ceramic box, so I haven't had a good play about with it to see if you can maybe make that a bit taller and add multiple boxes there. But that's that. Well, ladies and gents, that'll bring us to the end of the video. I hope you found it interesting. As you can see, plenty of things in the pipeline for this platform, and I'm still hard at work creating content for Last Oasis. I'm still to set a schedule for Twitch, but I do stream randomly at the moment, at least once a week, so click the link on my channel page to follow me over there. If you'd like to speak to like-minded Last Oasis players or even join Scallywags with my clan, you can join the Discord server and the link's in the description. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button, click the bell icon to never miss a video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents, and I'll see you on the next one.